That's right. 'Tis the season, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
And it's Christmas! Oh my
Kind of.
god. So, Dragon, again with the Venn diagrams that I always kind of like to have with, it's like, it's weird that you and I kind of have a lot of shared interests that are very, like, oddly specific. And, when you know it, superheroes, Christmas specials, you and I love both of them. So, with that being said, Dragon, Hawkeye, man, I gotta say, out of all the MCU Disney Plus stuff this year, the Black Widow tease with Florence Pugh definitely piqued my interest a bit, but still, I wasn't. Oh, there's an echo, Donovan. Hold on, I'll try and take care of that. 1 second. Dragon, why don't you give your thoughts really quick, and I'll take care of that.
Wait.
What?
No, Tiggy, he means there's a character called Echo.
Oh.
Yes, the character, the one in the bag is Echo. There's not actually an Echo.
Oh, are you sure? Okay. Just
wait.
Sure.
Okay, now you got me, Doug, because he says there's an Echo. Oh man, see, here's the thing. There's a character called Echo, and now he's saying there's an Echo. I don't know. I guess he means the latter.
Well, Dragon, what are your thoughts on the audios? Okay, yep. Donovan, I'll take care of that really quick. Dragon, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, obviously this was kind of a surprise drop today. Just like, oh my god, just it dropped today. We're getting 6 episodes of this. I am very hyped for it. I read the book that this mini series is based on. It's a Matt Fraction comic. Basically, Matt Fraction, years back, he wrote kind of this, what is kind of like now like the new definitive kind of Hawkeye book. It's kind of like the go-to of like, you don't really need to know anything about the character. It's basically kind of Hawkeye kind of down on his luck, kind of in the heart of New York, really. And this had a lot in common with it. It seems to be kind of a solid fusion of an adaptation meets kind of our Phase 4 status quo post Endgame. So I'm really impressed with it. And what I'm hoping for the show is that it's going to be a celebration of Hawkeye as a character. That's what I'm really because that's the thing. Hawkeye, we never got into the origins of Hawkeye in the MCU. Mm-hmm. And I think that this show, given the characters we have included here, including a big figure from Hawkeye's past, I think we absolutely have the means to do that by educating the next generation with Kate Bishop. I think we absolutely have the means to do that. They're promising a lot of really cool stuff with Hawkeye. I don't want to get too hopeful that they're going to deliver on everything, because it's only 6 episodes. By the same token, we got 6 impressive episodes.
And honestly, like, how I feel in regards to pacing. So it's like, if they could do 6 episodes, then it really feels like a mini movie. And like if this could be like the same levels of Falcon and Winter Soldier, but with a better villain, it could potentially be really good. So, right. Okay, so just to shout out some comments, Dragon, that guy is here. He says, I don't know why, but I'm always a sucker for the Christmas setting and action stuff. So when I realized that Christmas is going to be a big part of the show, I was like, yes, I'm in. And honestly, that guy, I felt the exact same way. I was totally hooked. Like Iron Man 3 is still to this day maybe in my top 10 MCU movies. I'm not going to say top 5. There was, at one point, it was my number 1, but those days are long gone. I would say probably pre-Guardians of the Galaxy, it was my number 1. But, I don't know. I am a sucker for it like you, so I'm very much on board for that. Anyways, let's see, also shouting out here, we got Donovan, Dragon, Donovan was asking about the Matrix trailer. We should probably just address that just because, it's a big pop culture thing that you and I, honestly, we're not Matrix people at all. Like, I saw the Matrix like once in high school and it kind of went over my head. I saw the sequels and I kind of felt like the same way that everyone else did about the sequels. So it's like, Dragon, did you see the trailer at all, or did you just pass on it?
No, I saw the trailer.
Okay.
I'm not a Matrix guy, but I will say this. I have 2 main thoughts with the trailer. Very simple thoughts. Okay, one, I really wish Keanu Reeves would have shaved. Okay, because I was thinking, no, of course not. He wouldn't have just not shaved. He wouldn't have just made the choice not to shave, because the instant thought everyone and their mother is going to have is like, hey, John Wick in the Matrix now. Which so
That's
unfortunately,
not necessarily a bad thing, though.
I mean, true, but it's just like, come on, man. It's like this is
Yeah.
like the big. I'm pretty sure. You can tell me you saw the movie. Didn't he shave through the Bill and Ted sequel?
Yeah, he did.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying. He shaves for Bill and Ted,
yeah.
but not the Matrix. Anyway, the other thought simply, again, not knowing really, I'm not uber familiar with the Matrix. I mean, I saw the first movie that was ages ago. I never saw any of the sequels. It's just simply I like the idea of we're exploring the blue pills. I think that like kind of like a regimen of blue pills, and he's not really, he's that they kind of took. I assume that took him out of the game. That sounds kind of interesting. I mean, I'll go as far as that. To say that.
And then, of course, I'll say this: the thing that everyone else is saying about the trailer is that it's, it's really high quality music editing. So,
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, Dragon, we lost everyone. So, is the audio still okay?
I mean, I can hear you, but I.
Okay, like I'm just paranoid because we went from 4 people to 0 people real quick. So, just okay. Hopefully, hopefully they come back on board.
All right.
Okay.
Well, just to shout out what we had. So Donovan says, "Well, I loved Arkham Origins, and that's set in Christmas aside from Marvel." Yes. Yeah, you remember the Arkham Origins thing? We covered it for was it Seasonal Shenanigans or was it Christmas in July? One of those two. We covered it.
If it was a TV show thing, it was.
Well, no, it's a game.
I'm guessing
TV.
it was Seasonal Shenanigans.
Right.
Because Christmas in July, we usually try and keep to just TV.
Yeah, but it was a game, so that's why I'm not sure which one it went into. Anyway, but yeah, that was a really good use of that setting as well. So yeah, so the Christmas setting definitely can breed some really good results, and also makes for excellent trailers, especially when we get some Andy Williams going.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So Donovan says it's fine now. And also that guy said, not really, but I'm not good at hearing that kind of stuff unless it's really bad. So Dragon, if that eases your confidence a little bit.
Right.
All right.
Anyway. All right. So yeah. So I'll say this to anyone who's interested in the show. Just before we dive into the recap breakdown, if you will. Again, folks, Matt Fraction's Hawkeye thing is pretty much what this thing's adapting. So it's also set around the holidays.
Yeah, I honestly, Dragon, I kind of think we should maybe. I don't usually suggest we do comic book stuff, and folks, I'm not promising this based on the schedule, but I'd be interested in doing a recap of that comic before this comes out.
Well, we'll see. Obviously, we have other stuff on the books, but we'll see.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't want to be like, hey, folks, before this comes out, guaranteed. But I'm just saying, I'm tossing that idea into the ether. Maybe we can make it happen. Who knows?
Okay.
But
all right. So yeah, that said, let's move into the recap. Hopefully, this will go smoothly.
And of course, Dragon also going to throw out one other thing. My God, there's an I don't even know if you want to call it an Easter egg or like the biggest feature of the whole damn thing, but there is something involving Captain America that I'm sure you and I are just like absolutely honed in on.
Oh, yeah.
So
it's like the trailer already had me, but then when they did that, okay, all right, that's it. I mean, I was already sold on this Hawkeye show because one, we need more of that character. Secondly, we've done really well with the Disney Plus shows, and third, now we have this. So okay, I gotta watch it.
Donovan says, so far I am loving My Life as a Weapon, which is the story that this is based off of.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the Fraction title.
That guy is like Rogers the musical. Yes. We'll get there, but let's. I'm excited to talk about Rogers, but let's build to it.
All right, so folks, Christmas time is here. Let's get started. Okay. Also, we have proper subtitles in this one.
Oh, nice.
All right, so
so right off the bat, I love this premise, Dragon. This premise. Hold on, pause on the family tape.
I know. I was just doing it. They threw Rogers at me.
Okay, sorry. Basically, Dragon, what I love about this premise is that it's the tried and true overworked dad, but in the context of the MCU.
Yeah, which of course Hawkeye's absolutely. Basically, you can only do it really with two characters. You have Hawkeye and you have Scott Lang. Those are the only two characters you can really.
Dragon, I can't even tell you. Like, this is like, it's so clever the way they build into this trope of like, Dad's never home for Christmas. Dad's always busy.
And we've been building
It's
this.
so
Remember,
clever the way they do that.
we've been building upon this. Remember going back to Civil War, I'm disappointing my kids because he's saving everyone's bacon, in Civil War, and then obviously Endgame happened. The snap happens. So real quick, just shout this out. So Christmas in New York, I did not see it coming. And I think it's funny because we are set in December at the top of the book, which I should have remembered that. But here's the thing, I really like about it. It kind of tracks. If WandaVision explores Halloween, then our show in November would likely be Christmas. It kind of makes sense.
Sure.
Yes. So Clint and the family. So I really love their status quo here. So Clint and the family, they're trying to return to. We're returning the status quo. We have all the kids came back. You have Lila, Cooper, and Nathaniel. Lila, by the way, in case folks didn't realize it, one of the Russo's kids. This is Ava Russo.
Nice. Okay, really quick. We have Donovan says, "I was like, WTF? After all Steve is done, and now he gets a musical." I assuming he's saying that from Hawkeye's perspective, post Civil War. All right, and also that guy says, "Oh, there goes Dad. Has to go shooting arrows at terrorists again." All right.
Yes. Now, you'll notice there is one member of the Hawkeye clan who is missing. Laura. Yeah, Laura's she's noticeably absent. I have a theory as to why. She's on the phone later. I think it's because there was a scheduling conflict with Linda Cardellini. She
just had to do all those Miss Piggy episodes, Dragon.
Well, funny, but the third and last season of Dead to Me. Remember that show I told you about?
Mm-hmm.
So she did the last season of that, I'm assuming, and maybe that's why she wasn't available to be there. And let's be honest, I don't think we could do a lot with her in the story anyway. It could be coincidental.
Honestly, I'm down for writing. I don't want to say this as an insult, but I think writing her out is like a smart choice, whether or not it's a scheduling conflict or not, just because it gives Clint more of a focus as like kind of like a father in his own right,
Sure. So let's talk about Rogers here because we're all
okay. So first of all, obvious comparison to Hamilton in terms of the logo, which is just amazing.
But here's it's a combination of Hamilton meets Turn Off the Dark. I'm pretty sure that's what they're going for.
I could see that. Yeah. Dragon, oh my God, if we got a song in Rogers the musical that's like in the style of Lin-Manuel Miranda, like written by Lin-Manuel Miranda. I know that's not necessarily what you would want, but I would just die.
That's the thing. I don't want that, but I have a feeling they're going to do that, though. Miranda's practically in the Disney payroll. He's always there anyway. Might as well give him something. I mean, I'll be shocked if we don't either get Lin-Manuel Miranda or ape at the style, because I'm hoping
Lin-Manuel. Well, I know we see him later on in the trailer, right? We see the actor playing.
Yeah, we see like
Rogers,
a teaser,
and it's clearly not Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying. What I mean is like they're gonna like.
Who do you think? Who would Lin-Manuel Miranda be in Rogers the musical?
Nick Fury.
Yes, I can see it. All right.
No, he would be. Seriously, he'd be Nick Fury.
Okay, let's see. Donovan says, if I'm right, this is taking place right around the time of No Way Home. No Way Home wasn't there the Halloween decorations though?
Well, we had like the hanging sorcerer lights.
Yeah, the doctor. So I don't know.
I wouldn't bet money on that being a Halloween thing. I'm not sure. It might just be like kind of a quirky thing. I don't know, but then again, who knows? I'm assuming that, bear in mind, because now all these shows have been kind of out of whack. It's hard to tell when exactly things are because let's see. So Loki is right after Endgame. Then 6 months later you have Falcon Winter Soldier, and like 10 days basically after Loki you have WandaVision. So that's kind of the way that goes so far. So Hawkeye I'm assuming is at the end of the first year. So this is probably after Falcon Winter Soldier, if I'm a betting man, I'm going to say, because this, again, it's probably Christmas of the first year after the snap.
Also, Dragon, really quick, speaking of Rogers, I want to give a shout out to our girl Haley Atwell, Dragon, because she just got cast as the new Laura Croft in the Netflix series, and that might not be like the most exciting thing for me personally, but I just think like she's such a perfect fit for that particular role. So
Sure.
I don't know. I'm excited for Atwell. Anyways,
So I want to talk about our premise here. So of course, I love how from what this trailer's selling me, it seems okay. So Clint's trying to reconnect. He has his family. He's reconnecting with them. He's kind of recovering from 5 years of darkness as Ronin, and then essentially Ronin rears his head again in a really interesting way. That has put a fangirl slash his soon to be protege in danger because now a target's on her back because of his action. So he's taking responsibility and helping her. I really love that premise for this show.
All right, hold on. Pause there really quick. Pause back on the what you just had. There we go. Okay. So I just want to point out that guy says Hawkeye hearing about the Rogers musical. God damn it, America, you never cease to amaze me. I just want to point out in this shot, like this just it looks like, I know y'all are just joking about like the him hating the idea of it, but genuinely it looks like Clint's just having a nice family night out at the theater. I don't think he has any animosity about this.
Yeah, I know. I know we're gonna go to this thing at some point in the show. It's just a question of are we gonna do it up front here? I'm assuming
I have a feeling it's gonna be in episode 1.
Yep, I'm betting we're gonna have the kids in episode 1. Then we're pretty much gonna be like we won't see him till the
That's
end.
what I'm saying. Yeah,
he makes it home for Christmas. So that's probably how that's gonna be in the show's either.
Oh my god, and you're absolutely right. It is an I'll be home for Christmas premise, which really excites me. Anyways.
Yeah. So again, either we're gonna have it there, or it'll be set around the big action climax. So we're going to the show. That's why we're all suited up.
Oh, the big action climax will be really fun and meta.
Yes, it will. Oh god. Also, again, a part of me here's the thing. Part of me wants Alan Menken before I want Lin-Manuel Miranda, just for the Star Spangled Man of it all. That's what I'm really hoping for in terms of.
I mean, Alan Menken would fit in better for like kind of like the classic Broadway of it all as a tie-in back to that for sure.
Yeah.
Oh god, but if we did the Lin-Manuel Miranda route, what if we did like a freaking hip hop remix of Star Spangled Man with a plan?
Well, we did the high school band version of which I thought was great.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I don't know if I'd push it personally, but it'd be interesting to see. Sure.
Okay, so of course, all the Ronin stuff. I gotta tell you, Dragon, Ronin, just in the context of Endgame, not really my favorite part of that movie by any means, just because I feel like with all the other stuff going on, it was just kind of like a footnote in the rest of the story. Like it was a really interesting idea for his character, but I gotta tell you, I really love that in this series we're really going back and kind of kind of picking at it with a fine-tooth comb, it seems.
Yeah. And again, I like using it as a springboard. And again, the unfinished business, and it's kind of drawing out kind of our criminal element, which is kind of a thing where in the book, the criminal element is kind of like they kind of came out of nowhere. Not in a bad way, just in the fact that they had an interest in the building he was living in. So it's just he kind of lucked into it here, where it's like a direct result of what he did, which I like. And again, it makes sense though. Like, yeah, she's starting off as like the last thing we heard of.
You know what it reminds me of, Dragon? It feels very Marvel Netflix-y.
Sure.
Hint.
Yeah. Yes.
But seriously, it feels very much like kind of in the vein of Marvel Netflix, where we'll have kind of like, like the imposter Daredevil, that kind of thing. Like we'll play around with the idea of like, street level people, like, kind of like the thing that opening fight scene with Batman and the Dark Knight was about, kind of like the vigilante element of it all.
Yes, the Sons of Batman copycat.
Right. Yeah. So
yeah, sure. But that's what I'm saying. Exactly. And Tiki, again, it's just great to have Ronin, give Ronin some aftermath so we kind of earn our way back to Hawkeye. Because again, Ronin was not a happy period for Hawkeye, so I like that there was some trepidation there. For him. And again,
go ahead.
That vengeful crusade did have an aftermath of like, 5 years later, those criminal factions, they're not going to be too happy with him, and he was lucky he was masked up. But now anyone else who wears that mask, they're going to be target numero uno.
So Donovan points out, I can't wait for some Daredevil characters to come back in the season. Rumor Wilson Fisk for episode 5. I haven't heard the episode 5 thing, but I mean, if that's true, like I don't necessarily know if I like knowing that, but I'll be stoked if it's true. Don't get me wrong. But Dragon, I'll say this at this point. At this point, I think just from a story point of view, it's a lot more likely to work Wilson Fisk into this than it is to work Matt Murdock into Far From Home. Like, Spider-Man needs a lawyer for sure, but clearly he's taking different means to get out of his situation, and if he does need a lawyer, it's going to be probably nothing more than a one-scene cameo. Whereas Wilson Fisk, like, I genuinely think he could be like easily in the setup of this thing, he could be the big bad for all we know.
Well, my theory. Okay, so first off, let me acknowledge this, Tiki. I want to believe.
I know, Dragon. I'm right there with
you. With every fiber of my being, I want to believe that the reports are true. That Vincent D'Onofrio is right, and it's like, yeah, we're going to see the Kingpin in this. I can't trust anything.
I know, but honestly, Dragon, I kind of like the not knowing though, because I feel like a few years ago, like when we go into stuff like this, like especially with like, remember like the Spider-Man Homecoming, where the trailers, you could pretty much just piece together the entire movie through the trailers, so I kind of like the not knowing at this point, honestly.
I mean, Tiki, between what's more likely, again, I think the Charlie Cox thing is more likely than D'Onofrio, because D'Onofrio is beyond awesome getting him in here, and there's a way to work him in here easily, but is as easily as you could work in.
I'm just saying, like, the mob thing, like, Ronan could have very easily gone after Fisk in the 5 years, and then Fisk is going after Ronan, his revenge. I don't know. I'm just saying that's an easy way to do it.
Well, yeah, that's the thing though. There is an easy way to work him in there, in that we have the tracksuit Draculas, which is their nickname, by the way, the tracksuit Draculas. Basically, tracksuit mafia, but Russians, I believe. Just Hawkeye in the book calls them tracksuit Draculas, just because it's kind of funny. But it's very easily, the Kingpin sicked them on him, or basically, again, all the criminal factions that he's interrupted surely has a ripple effect that leads to the Kingpin. So it's easy to work him in. It's the question: are we going to get what we want here?
Sure.
Anyway, let's see. All right, so moving on from right. So of course here we have the "I'll be home for Christmas" promise.
Yes, I love it. They're just fully leaning into the Christmas cliches. Really quickly, Dragon, Donovan says he's been liking so many tweets congratulating him on his return. And then he emphasizes heavily rumored.
Wait, you mean D'Onofrio's return?
Yeah, D'Onofrio has been apparently liking a lot of tweets congratulating him.
I know, that's the thing. That's the thing that makes me like, oh man, he's not shooting it down, but it's like, no, he's just being a nice guy.
Oh God.
Like, I can't buy into it because I want it so badly. And here's the big reason I'm even more leaning into it than I have been before. I was like, oh, yeah, it'd be nice, but like, no, it actually is possible. The word is, I think this is confirmed, but I don't know, is that Echo, one of our characters this season, will be getting a spinoff. And Echo, the big reason everyone's excited for Echo, and the whole D'Onofrio thing's picking up subtraction, Tiki, is that the Kingpin ties into that character's origin big time. So Echo, again, if they do a spinoff for Echo, absolutely, the Kingpin would be in that. But I'm assuming in this show we streamlined the Kingpin out of it. So I'm just questioning how much, or is there any wiggle room? Because there's a whole thing where he kind of raised her as like an adopted daughter, almost, kind of.
Okay.
Or, like through boarding schools and stuff. So it wasn't like a touchy feely thing. But he kind of he had her father killed. And basically, his father made the Kingpin promise to raise his daughter, which he did out of like obligation and honor, kind of a criminal thing. But she never knew that he killed her father, which was interesting. Which I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see if we go that route, or if we do that, or how we time it, or even if we get the Kingpin. Which again, fingers crossed, please. There we go. There's some Ronin action going on here, and we have the reveal. It's Haley Steinfeld. Hey.
Yep.
Right, so of course, we see her archery skills at work here. I'm pretty sure what happens is she just like wants to make the bell ring, but it's a really old bell, and it ends up coming down here.
So what I like about this is like it kind of frames her, like it kind of like distinguishes it from, some of the other stuff we've been having in the MCU of like, oh, it's just the main hero, but they're female and they're better. I don't want to say I discourage that kind of writing. I certainly don't, but I like that they're showing her flaws right away. It's like, because if they came in and she was even more of a badass than Clint, I think that would have been a problem.
Yeah, yeah. It's the fact that I think what we're going to celebrate here in our story, if we do it right, is the fact that Hawkeye, he is, he it's the comic and the character so far in the MCU. The idea it's a relatable guy who can be very vulnerable and who's had a really exciting life. He was on a falling city because of an android. He's done so many things. And is a guy who works with the limitations he has, and he kind of he can measure up to the Avengers. So there's a lot of really cool. Hawkeye has grit for days,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Kate Bishop kind of is is kind of bringing that about as well. How she has kind of like the youthful zeal of a young Clint Barton as well, and that she's a little more earnest and wet behind the ears than Clint Barton is, though. And obviously, I think the line people might be connecting that we kind of had at the top of Endgame is that I think he sees maybe a bit of his daughter in her. I think he has a bit of like the potential of like potential of I have to take responsibility for this kid, but also I want to be with my family more. This kid could be my way out, and also be helping her and like putting some good out in the world, which to make up for all the bad I did.
Sure.
Yeah. Again, it's the fact that he's kind of found his way back to Hawkeye through an unconventional route. He can't be Hawkeye again because he was running. It's that sort of thing. There's no going home again. I love this action bit right here with the Molotov cocktail from the tracksuit Draculas. Just tosses it, catches it, and it goes back.
yeah. That's great.
I think
That's
it's
great.
The coolest.
Like, it shows that he's not just skilled with a bow and arrow. He's just skilled like as a marksman in general. Again, Dragon, to make a Daredevil comparison, it kind of reminds me of Bullseye's skill set.
Well, that's absolutely what you should be thinking. It's I mean,
Mhm.
the comic again. Kingpin did have a small role in the comic as well, which again is feeding a lot of hype and thrills because there's like you see all the crime bosses that have been affected by Hawkeye, kind of teaming up in the story.
Sure.
Anyway, and Hawkeye like he has like a poker game with these tracksuit guys, and he has basically uses the cards as weapons because he can turn anything into a weapon.
Oh, that's
Bullseye,
cool. That's really cool.
which is which is awesome.
Just get a paper cut so deep that it just gets you an infection and you just fucking die.
Yeah, well, it's more Bullseye's thing, but yes. But this bit right here, this
Deadly
is one
paper cut. Anyways, this bit is very Die Hard-esque.
Yeah, well, this bit is like entirely from the book. I mean, I'm not
Oh,
saying.
okay,
Let me
okay.
rephrase. I'm not saying this is literally from the book, but this is like the tone of the book where Hawkeye goes to kind of zip
I've
line
heard
out of
that the
building.
chase scene at the end is pretty much lifted from the book.
That is true. Yes. I'm just saying, like in general, this is kind of the tone of the book here. Where Hawkeye goes to do a zip line, and he falls. Where it's like Hawkeye dealing with the hard knocks, where it's like he's like not fired from the Avengers, but he's on really thin ice with the Avengers. That's that sort of thing. Of course, we have.
So this, hold on, go back to that party.
Oh, sure.
I don't know. I just really like that beat. It's just very much like a Shane Black kind of. I don't know. It just very much reminds me of like a Shane Black Christmas action movie, with like the chase scene through a fancy Christmas party. Anyways,
well, I'm pretty sure that's going to be during the undercover thing. Where in the book and as well as here, we get to see it better later in the trailer. There is an auction of some sort happening. Probably not over the same thing from the book, but there is an auction that Hawkeye has to infiltrate, and this is probably that swanky party it's being held to do so. I'd imagine. In the comic, Kingpin attended, so fingers crossed. Episode 5.
Oh man. But, and of course, Dragon, the most wonderful time of the year, just perfect song choice, classic, iconic Christmas song.
Yep. Oh, by the way, you're going to see this later. I just want to bring it up now. So there's a running gag. I wonder if it's going to be in the show. They did a little Easter egg to it. The tracksuit Dracula's here. They keep calling each other bro. They're very bro-y.
Yeah, I noticed that. I kind of looked into some of the Easter eggs on this. Yeah,
they always call it's bro every other word with these guys. So I wonder if they're gonna keep the bro-y aspect.
Oh God,
it'd be hilarious if they did. I think it might just be a lip service. I think the band's gonna be it, but we'll see. Here we go. And this sets the tone as well. Again, from the book and kind of what we need here. Where Kate Bishop, she's learning the ropes. She's not there yet. By the end of the season, she'll probably be there. But goes for the epic, kind of entry and no superhero landing for her. Also, I love these kind of yellow bumpers here, like this holiday season.
Dragon, I assume that tree is a Rockefeller tree.
That is my assumption. Yes, I mean, how many giant trees are there in New York?
Okay, and there it is, Dragon. There she
There's
is
our
in all her
girl.
glory.
Look at her; she's wrapped like a Christmas present. Look at her.
I gotta tell you, Dragon, I forgot that she was even cast in this until she popped up. I was like,
I'm
oh yeah!
gonna make your day a lot better. Than not only are we getting the lovely, the talented, the omnipresent Vera Farmiga. Not only that, sir, we're getting Tony Dalton in this.
Oh my god! Oh, I totally forgot
Okay,
about that.
let me
Oh
tell you,
man!
you're gonna love this. If you look into this, you're gonna be blown away. Okay, about
Okay,
how much like
okay.
Lalo he looks. Okay.
Oh god! Oh god!
He is playing Hawkeye's mentor, who essentially, Hawkeye started off as a bad guy. Technically, he was in a circus, and he was a thief trained by his mentor, the swordsman. The
Mhm.
swordsman is Tony Dalton's character, who basically was like an Errol Flynn type with a mustache, who again looks very much like Lalo Salamanca.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay.
Now, he was a Frenchman in the comics, and they've changed the name from Jacques the Jack. So I don't know how much of that we're going to put in there. But the point being, though, is that it gives me credence that we're going to either in flashback or he's going to be coming back as why they're at the auction, for example. Like if they don't do the Kingpin, I'm sure we're going to have the swordsman trying to get something at that auction.
Mhm.
That might bring about, Hawkeye's past and such. So the point being, Tony Dalton, I'm very looking forward to seeing that because that's all the Hawkeye past stuff, which we have never talked about in the MCU. So that could be really exciting.
Cool. Cool.
All right, so here we go.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Speaking of the best gifts, not just Farmiga, but
I mean, isn't that just the best pair of shots ever? Just Farmiga followed by this.
yes. Oh god. And here's the thing: it just seems this is where we like the turn off the dark kind of thing that worries me, but on purpose though. The intentional, like, oh god, it's kind of like Hamilton, obviously with the marketing and our lead. But
Also,
beyond
yeah,
that,
Hamilton with the set design as well. It's pretty Hamilton-esque.
I'm saying the costume design looks very turn off
The
the
costume
dark.
design is very turn off the dark. Yeah,
And also, like, not great turn off the dark, because Cap's just wearing a jacket and a shield, which is
like
you know?
honestly, it's a step down. It's more like it's less Spider-Man turn off the dark and more Spider-Man rocks at Universal Studios.
Yeah, because we have like the Hulk's like a hoodie. I have the Chitauri look. Why is it the Chitauri have the best costumes and yet the main heroes do?
Right.
Caps is wearing like an open. I'm assuming this is like one of those like one. What do they call it? The rehearsal that the people take in the rehearsals.
I don't know, Dragon. Honestly, like we saw Clint in front of the theater. I assume this is the performance.
I know that's
I
the
hate
thing.
to say it.
I didn't say it. It looks kind of because I love that. I love the concept of this, but yeah, like look, it's Cap in a jacket and Hulk in a hoodie. I mean, Hawkeye. I mean, Hawkeye probably turned out the best up there. You know?
Yeah.
I assume this guy's Dr. Selvig. I don't know. Might be Dr. Erskine. I'm not sure. I believe we have Tony Stark up here. It's a little hard to see, but like, that's a little just getting the freeze frame.
Plot twist: Bucky wrote the musical.
Bucky wrote them. Don't be silly. Anyway.
All right, and of course, Dragon. I mean, oh my god, the tagline to this thing again, just leaning so hard into just the easy, low hanging holiday tropes, and I love it.
I loved it. Also, Thor and Loki, just gonna shout them out. Right. The best gifts. Oh, sorry, it's getting there.
Mm-hmm.
So we have this dog here from the book. This is Lucky the pizza dog.
Yeah.
Yes, Lucky basically being rescued from the tracksuit mafia.
It's so cute. Oh my god.
Yeah. All right. Now we have I don't know. Yet again,
what do you think of this? This looks like a reenactment of some kind to me.
I'm assuming it's a Renaissance, like a Renaissance fair, like we saw.
Yeah,
in Loki.
like maybe it's in episode 1, and Clint's just like it. Dragon, I assume episode 1 is going to be a lot of status quo Clint doing family stuff, so maybe this is another family activity.
I mean, maybe, but look at this. All right, so we have Ronin right there.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, right.
They have the Ronin, at the very least, looks identical to the Ronin outfit. Now, I don't know if either it could be Clint using the Ronin thing for good in this scene, but I'm just saying, given the next shot we see here, it does not look like the Ronin outfit unless you removed a lot of it. Yeah, see, I'm assuming this is. I'm assuming that is him training perhaps training her trying to find, Kate Bishop, while she's in the Ronin costume. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
It's a little hard to tell. So
That
this
could
is
be.
them. This is them probably heading to that auction.
Okay, that guy says the doggo is going to be a present for his kiddos, and yes, that would be fucking adorable. Oh my god, I
That
love
would
it.
be nice. Also comes with a bow.
Oh god, again, it's so easy that it wraps around to being perfect.
Yep, it comes with a bow, much like Lucky the pizza dog. All right. So you go there. Okay, here's like a presumably Rockefeller Center giving the ice ring and everything. Which again, that's a pretty big. That's a pretty epic stunt to have. Like we knocked over the tree at Rockefeller
Right,
Center.
right, yeah.
That's pretty substantial during
It
our
is, it
big
is.
plus our big set piece here and the big money shot.
Mm-hmm.
Two of them in costume. By the way, I have a theory. They keep teeing up that we're gonna have like the classic Hawkeye costume in this. Kind of like we've done with, like Luke Cage and, so on and so forth. You kind of give them a moment where they're in the classic costume. Oh, also, I mean, the better comparison from more recently, WandaVision. We put them in the exact suits. I'm thinking if we flash back to Clint Circus days, we put him in the broad, like the mask and everything. We put him in the classic Hawkeye costume. If we go back to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
days.
yeah. That I mean, I feel like they should do it at least once.
Yeah.
It's like they got away with it in Luke Cage. I feel like they could do it in a similar way to that.
And again, we did it really well in WandaVision. It's absolutely possible. That was around Halloween. There'd be the circus. I mean, you can absolutely get away with it, the circus. I figure.
Sure.
I'm just saying, I heard that teased up, and here we have him in kind of a more Hawkeye-esque outfit. I'm just saying, this is the last time. I'm assuming this is like the last time we're going to get Jeremy Renner in this role. That's my impression. That's not confirmed or anything, but that's my impression. This is going to be his out.
Dragon, I'm never going to believe that it's going to be the last time anyone ever appears in a Marvel movie.
And I'm not.
It might be his retirement for the time being, but once they get to Secret Wars or something like that,
Well, sure. I just mean like the passing of the torch, and this is like him, this is like he won't really be full on like coming back as Hawkeye on the regular.
Sure.
Like he'll be, if we do it, it'll be very sparingly. Like we're not killing him off or anything, so it is possible.
Okay, that guy, or I'm sorry, Donovan says, do you think Bullseye from Daredevil will appear in the series and be Clint's nemesis? Very cool, but no. I mean, I'd love it potentially for season 2 or for the Echo spinoff you were talking about, maybe. But
it's entirely possible for Echo, and also Echo would be more of our Bullseye figure in this versus actually having Bullseye. That's why I'm inclined not to believe.
Right, I just don't think there's any room in the story. Like I love a Hawkeye versus Bullseye as like that could potentially be like a really good kind of like Marvel one-off, like a fight scene between the two of them.
Well, I think I've told you this once before. When they did the Thunderbolts, like the evil version of like the Dark Avengers, that sort of thing. Sometimes they go by both names, sometimes it's one or the other. There's been like a lot of different teams for both versions. But let's just say the iconic one where Norman Osborn was calling the shots after Secret War. Secret Invasion. Sorry, too many secrets. Secret Invasion. You had the lineup, and the lineup included Elena, the Elena Black Widow, and had Bullseye as Hawkeye on that team. So entirely possible. And by the way, with Echo, her power set is that she's deaf and she's a mimic, basically like Taskmaster. She can mimic abilities. So that's absolutely possible to make her kind of the.
Not sure how I feel about that.
Well, I'm saying that's always been her shtick. I'm saying that's classically been her shtick. I assume they're going to continue with that, but they might change it.
I'm just saying so soon after Taskmaster.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was going to be more time in between them, but that's because of the pandemic. So it's not like we have Taskmaster anymore, sadly. Right. So I don't think there's going to be any. I don't think it's necessarily going to be the end of the world. It's going to be an unfortunate reminder, if anything else. But here's something interesting, though. Let me point this out before we go back forward here. Okay, so people have noticed this, which I completely did not notice. I had no idea about this. So apparently, at some point in the comics, Hawkeye has a hearing problem, which I think might have been referenced once or twice in the comic. So if you'll notice right here, he's got a hearing aid.
Oh, good catch.
So the idea is like, now I get no credit for this catch. People pointing this out like, oh my God, he did. And it makes sense because throughout the book, Clint Barton always mentions he gets so many concussions over the years. So I'm assuming the concussions and everything resulted in the hearing problem, which, if I'm a betting man, will connect him to the villain of the piece with Echo, and that they both have, she's fully deaf and he's kind of has a hearing impairment.
Sure.
So we'll see if they do anything with that. I don't know. It just seems like an odd detail. I don't think that's a. I'm pretty sure it's not a comm link. My assumption was it was a comm link, but I don't think it is. All right. Anyways, getting back to the action here again. Speaking of the book. Sorry. This I believe is Echo. The red lighting makes me think it's Elena, but I think it's Echo. Though. It's a little hard to tell if it's Florence Pugh or actors playing Echo.
I mean, I'm honestly kind of impressed that they, if it is Florence Pugh, they certainly didn't like really market her. So,
Yeah.
you know, I kind of like. I assume that they'll have her in a second trailer, but
Yeah,
you know, I like that. I like that first and foremost in big bold lights. We're just having like Christmas is the main draw.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, given the dark hair, I'm like pretty sure it's like really up close shot, so it's a little hard to tell. But I'm pretty sure this is Echo. But yeah, the fact we are getting Elena, and because of Val, she has Clint's number, and this is what I'm saying to you. I love how the dominoes are lining up here. Where hey, Ronan's back. She knows She knows Clint Barton is Ronan. That's what's going to bring her to the heart of New York. Like all this coverage of like, hey, Ronan's been spotted.
Again, it's just a perfect way to kind of do one of those kind of you know, like, oh man, the dominoes are all coming down when all I'm trying to do is get home for Christmas. You know,
he just wants to get home for Christmas, but he's got to pull this girl's bacon out of the fire and teach her a few things, and then Black Widow's sister's trying to kill him. And they're dealing with the tracksuit Draculas in this shot here coming up. See, they're in the sports car. I believe you got some 70s Camaro action going on here, which the red one was in the book, and just in general, like it's a lot of homaging to the car, you know, kind of the car chase from the book here. So this whole kind of shootout and kind of the fancy stunts going on here. It's the idea of him and Clint and Kate Bishop in the car shooting arrows at the bad guys here. That's all from the book. And again, trust the bro. Trust the bro. The whole that's the big bro thing for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see if there was something real. Oh yeah. This is the auction scene I was talking about here, right? So this big hole in the wall. You know, these guys have paddles. It's all suited up and everything.
Sure.
112. There we go. All right. Anyways, again, we have some whammo blammo action here. Like, no, don't use that arrow. That's definitely not the one. Bam. I love her outfit, by the way. Kate Bishop. She looks great as Kate Bishop.
Yeah.
Right, let's see. By the way, in case any have forgotten, Haley Steinfeld, Spider-Gwen from the Spider-Verse. And we're going down, a little bullseye effect, and this is some Christmas. We gave him a cutesy line. All right, and that brings us to the end. So again, this is coming November 24th, 6 episodes. I wonder, Tiki, let me ask you this. Do you think, given the timing of things, do you think they're going to be so ambitious to, like the penultimate episode, I assume, will time out to be exactly Christmas in our story?
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna do the calendar math on this.
The 29th is when the show ends. The last episode would be the 29th of December.
So
we go to Wednesdays.
Yeah, the episode before the week before that would be the 22nd, so not quite.
Well, so what I mean though is, you think in the show it'll be timed to be, because that'll be like the week of Christmas.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think that.
You think the ticking clock of our story would line up to like
sure.
You know, so that's going to be the day. Is he going to make it or not?
All right, Dragon, any other final thoughts on your end, or else I have some comments that we can go over and then wrap this up.
Let's go over comments.
Okay. Let's see. So Donovan says, following Clint will be very interesting given that he doesn't have the Avengers anymore, no Nick Fury, etc. So with the path the MCU is on now, it's very interesting to see these heroes apart.
Phase 4. I'm sorry, go on.
On a more wide scale in Phase 1 leading to the Avengers.
Yeah, Phase 4 is very much, we're constructing the new Avengers, or the next Avengers, or whatever you want to call the new lineup that we're in the midst of constructing. So yeah, it's interesting that we have like the Avengers are unofficially disbanded, because we have not stated like what the deal is, because we just got a new Captain America. We passed the Shield there. We still need to see what's going on with we don't know if the Hulk's calling the shots now. Right now, there's a lot of talk of like, wait, is Doctor Strange the boss of the Avengers now? Is that what's going on? No one knows. because
Mhm.
he's the glue right now.
Okay, that guy says, "Do you think any other familiar faces will make an appearance?"
Let's see. Okay, well, I think we pretty much know everyone who's going to be there because we got Elena coming. We're praying for D'Onofrio. Um, let's see. Again, we have figures from Hawkeye's past, but in terms of familiar, I mean,
I honestly don't think so, just because this seems like a pretty self-contained story, and I don't think there's a lot of room for like unlike something like WandaVision, where there's a big door for pretty much any character to kind of come in and help with the
which
situation.
at one point included, I thought Hawkeye could have appeared in that because again,
Right, right,
he and Wanda are
yeah,
very close. I mean, seriously, they are very. And you know what? I love going back to this. So you go back to Endgame. The last scene that Tiki, it just works so well in the grand scheme of things when you think about it. Endgame has a few little pins that we make where we have the Guardians and Thor they're going off, and we also have a moment between Hawkeye and Wanda and they're grieving of the people they've lost, which obviously will shape their shows going forward. And I love that we gave them a moment, given that how they're going to kind of diverge. I don't know if you want to call it good marketing or good storytelling, but I thought it was kind of nice. You know, we've kind of paired everyone off and kind of set them on their ways.
All right, Donovan says, "I wonder if Elena will even appear this season. If this will be a multi-season, so she's got to appear. There's no way she doesn't.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have set up that post-credit scene if she's going to come in, because we don't even know if the show's going to get a season 2. So.
I mean, I'm again, this Echo spinoff makes me think that might, instead of a season 2, just be the Echo show, which perhaps Kate Bishop will show up in. I think that's probably what it will.
Yeah, but I mean, she's specifically going after Clint Barton, though.
Yeah, no, I'm saying she's absolutely. No, Elena's absolutely going to be in this season. I have no doubt. What I'm saying though, if this show is going to get a season 2, if it gets a season 2, it'll be Jeremy Renner will not be back. I'll bet you that. But if Echo could be that again, it's like what we're doing with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where now we're probably going to be Captain America and the Winter Soldier movie, which would be Cap Thor versus another season, like something like that. We're just going to change the name or swap something, you know.
Yeah, and that guy says, "What do you think? Just a mini series or more than one season?" And Dragon, I agree with you. If we're doing a continuation, it's going to be kind of something along the lines of a Captain America 4, and not necessarily a Hawkeye season.
Yeah, they pretty much market this as a mini series, and that makes me inclined to think we're not doing season 2. But I mean, I don't think it's set in stone yet. I really don't. I think it's possible, but I would not be. I'm not counting on it really right now.
Okay, Atomic Beast. He says Kate Bishop, Wanda's kids, and the others will form the Young Avengers, and we'll have a Young Justice like Marvel series called Young Avengers. I mean, it's possible. I don't necessarily think that's going to be the next Avengers crew, but certainly in the future.
Well, it does bring about a really good question though, Tiki, because yeah, we have like a whole slew of Young Avengers set up. And that yet we are building kind of our main line of Avengers. So they're building, and also we have the Dark Avengers, the Thunderbolts, whatever you want to call them, being set up. We have like 3 different.
Maybe what they're building is a movie where it's like teams against other teams. That would be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, I know this is not exactly the prime example, but like an Avengers versus X-Men sort of thing. Where you have teams.
When you mention that, it just makes me think of like the Marvel versus Capcom games.
Yeah, sure, yeah. So it's something like that.
Okay, let's see. So that guy says praying for the king.
Yeah,
or hashtag praying for the king.
Yeah.
Let's see. Book of Boba Fett is confirmed at this point for season 2. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Mando season 3 will be shooting very soon.
Does not surprise me.
I mean, at this point, it's safe to say that it's not going to be in 2021, obviously, but
right.
Honestly, I kind of admire the the chutzpah to be like, oh, our biggest show on Disney Plus, we're going to take a year off and do Boba Fett instead.
Yeah, it's again. Initially, I remember for a time they really made it sound like we were getting both at the same time. But yeah,
which I never really bought into. I was like, okay, let's be realistic.
I mean, they never they said it was coming, and they never said when. Though that's one thing. That's how things get confused. They said that it was coming in December. I don't know. It's a whole thing. But now we've drawn the lines out. Donovan then went on to say Secret Wars. I believe in question to what do we do with all these teams. Yeah, they all could be called in for Secret Wars. It's possible. I think we would want to do stuff in the interim with them, which I think there's a question of how much. I think Phase 5 is where we're going to see a lot of payoff with these teams that were assembling all sorts of teams in Phase 4. I think it's where we're kind of leading right now. Like, we won't see a Secret Wars till, I'm going to guess, the end of Phase 5. That's when we get like a Secret Wars. That's my assumption at this juncture. Okay, that guy says.
Yeah.
And Deadpool comes in the last minute of X-Men versus Avengers thing to go with the team that wins. Seems pretty on brand, like him just kind of flip flopping. Hey, you guys got this.
Yeah.
Bleep those guys. You got this.
Do you see
yeah,
Marvel announced 3 or 4 more movies post 2023, 24?
Yes, this I was going to add this to memoirs, but yes, we have. There's mystery slots have been announced for.
Oh dear God! Oh, Marvel and their mystery slots.
Now it's sounding like 2023 is, from all intents and purposes, sounds like that's going to be, at least we're all hoping for. It's going to be Deadpool 3, 2023. So the February, I think it's February 2023. I'm not sure. The point
that would fit in line with Deadpool.
Yes, which again, given the fact there's been a lot of teasing that we're kind of in the midst of making or constructing it right now, so I guess the earliest would probably be the Deadpool slot. And then Secret Wars has not been officially announced. That's probably one of the movies in that lineup as well. And then there's 2 more to be unaccounted for.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's it, Dragon. I guess we pretty much went through it all. All right, guys. So thanks a lot for joining us, Donovan, that guy, and Atomic Beast. As always, y'all are awesome. We appreciate having you. And have a good night. Can't wait for this.
Ho, ho, ho.